In this video, we want to continue working on our gripping. So previously we have it set up so when we grip with the left, it prints out to the left. Grip with the right, we print out to the right. So we know that everything's running as it should. Now what we want to do is actually build a grip an object. So I want to change this grip test here that we made, the blueprint class, and I'll use the first person mesh projectile. And obviously it's going to be quite massive. So if I drag this out, you can see the size. So let's drop this scale down to 0.1. And that should be a good bit more appropriate. Yeah, something along those lines. So we're going to go ahead and set that up so we can pick this up and hold it. Now let's go ahead and we'll start with the left because it's pretty much going to be a copy paste. So we have our collision components here, our sphere component. So left controller collision. We want to get the overlapping actors. So left controller collision. Let's search for overlap and we'll go through and find what I just saw. Oh, here it is. Duh, I'm on it. Get overlapping actors. So it outputs, well, it takes in a reference to a T array of A actor, and we can filter it if we want to, which we don't really care for. So let's go ahead and store these. So T array of A actor pointers, and let's do overlapping for the name. So let's pass that on in and iterate over it. So for A actor in overlapping. If actor, just to confirm, what we want to do is we want to pick it up. So how do we do this? Well, we have our left motion controller, and we can search for the word grip. As you can see, we have the function grip actor. So we can pass our actor that we are on right now right into that. Then we have a second parameter, which is just an output to a world transform, pretty much the offset. And then every other parameter we can leave as default for now. So we have to create a world transform. So f transform, and let's just call it offset. We're going to pass in offset as the second parameter. And then assuming we've gripped, which does this return anything? Does. All right, let's see what this actually returns. So grip, that's for replication. Where does it return true? I'm just guessing at this rate, then it only returns true at the very end, assuming every other parameter is successful. So from a quick look at it, it looks like it returns true if the grip was successful. So we're going to do if to wrap the grip actor function around. And if the grip is, good to go, we simply break out of our for loop. So that way, if we want to do anything with it, we still can. But I don't really know what all we want to do with it. Anyhow, let's go ahead and copy this and paste it on our grip right, and simply change the left controller collision to right controller collision, and left motion controller to right motion controller. Save it, perform our live coding. All right, now let's just kind of see what happens. So I'll walk over to it, left click it, and nothing seems to be happening. So let's try to check and see what else is going on. For starters, let's see if we can if we're actually even getting any actors. So left grip. So we're going to print out the amount of overlapping actors. So we're going to add fstring from int. What the integer is going to be is overlapping.num. So that should give us roughly the amount. So if it's working, it should have 1, and if it's not, we're going to have 0. So it very well could just be our collision settings, but we'll see here in a second. Okay, move over. Okay, so that printed out 1, and something clearly happened, so my guess is it actually worked. There's apparently a little bit of a problem, though. As you can see, when I picked it up, Why can I not pick it up now? Going 0, yada yada yada. Oh, there it goes. Then it prints out 1. So let's go to the grip test. Click on the static mesh. Go down to collision. Or select the collision presets. Set it to custom. So we'll go over to pawn. Let's just set it to ignore. Compile save. Now we can walk through it. So let's try to pick it up now. Get it to where I can actually pick up the bloody thing. And that happens again. So we're having some really weird issue here. So I'm not entirely sure what all is causing it, because if I recall, the settings should be good to go by default. So let's check and see if there's anything just kind of that catches my eye real quick. Because we are the server, correct? Yes, so we have authority. Yeah, because my only thinking could be it's something related to the collision. So I'm going to do a quick test here. And I'll just uncheck. I'll make it ignore pretty much everything except for world static. Just to try it. And it still happens. So it's like it throws our character. However, that's kind of odd because this has no collision. So I'm almost questioning if it might be our controller collision itself, like these guys. I'm going to give this a quick little test real quick and see. So we have it set to overlap. Block projectiles. So that really wouldn't be it. Because we're overlapping. We're not actually, what do you call it? Having any sort of blocking or anything like that. So that's not the case. So it's something else. So I'm going to look into this real quick and I'll be right back when I figure it out. Okay, so basically what I did to narrow it down was I printed out the actor that was getting gripped, and turns out for some odd reason we're trying to grip ourselves. So let me actually reset this back, which was overlap all dynamic. So by default, these are the obviously default parameters. Everything's just set to overlap, again, aside from projectile. So that's fine. But what we want to do, let me go ahead and remove the debug message, is perform a check. So if actor and actor does not equal this. So that way we're going to compare and check just to make sure that the actor we're trying to pick up is not our own character. So this should allow us to do things like pick up other people if we so wish and drag them around, if we want to in the future. But for the time being, this will hopefully prevent that issue. Let's go down the try. Up. Grip 1. So it's obviously picking it up. However, it is not actually grabbing it. So it is set to movable. And I'm almost questioning, what is the collision like for this mesh? Let's look at it real quick. For the collision, it's got collision all the way around it. That's fine. Now, why is it not being picked up? We're not simulating physics or anything like that. So I'm going to do a quick check here and just see kind of what happens. Actually, no. I want to confirm that we are actually picking something up. Because my guess is it's not actually picking up the sphere or the test actor that we have right here. Instead, it's only picking up ourselves, which we are kind of dismissing by this check here. So I'm going to print out another just log to the screen. Same thing again. We're going to add the actor, get name to it, like so, and just see what happens. And to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and give it a full recompile. Okay. Drag these right on back. And see what it prints out. Which my guess is nothing. So grip 1, nothing. So it's not actually being able to run our code here. So it's still only picking up our actual, what do you call it? Our character. That's what it's testing against, and it is failing. So it's going to be something related to the collision. Our controller is set to generate overlap events, as you can see. Let's go over to our test grip, click on our mesh, go down to collision again, and we can see we are set to pretty much ignore them all. So let's set that back to default, and it's set to block all. Give this a try, see if that can trigger Y. And it's still not picking it up. So what else can we do? Let's look at it, generate overlap events. Let's check that, which is right here. And this should solve our issue. So now, as you can see, I just picked it up and it grabbed on. It had some physics and obviously it scaled itself right back up. So there's probably some settings in there. So let's see if we can tinker with some of them. So simulate on drop, gonna leave unchecked. And is there something related to scale? Want to replicate? Not seeing anything regarding scale. So we're, let's see, still set to 0.1. I may just bring in another object here if that's going to keep doing it. Pick it up. As you can see, it's just massive, but it is connected to my controller. So for some odd reason, it is scaling itself right back up. So I'm not sure if there's a setting here that I'm missing. I do not see anywhere where it would be setting it to scale up. So I'm going to go ahead and make another quick little sphere in Blender real quick and import that, and I'll be right back. So obviously the download for it will be in the description. Alrighty, we now have a new asset called new sphere. Let me go ahead and import that in. Make sure I'm generating collision. Alright, confirm that we do have collision, which we do. Replace the mesh with it. Revert the scale back. Should be about at the right. Yeah, it is. And let's give it a try. Now let's pick it up. Okay, so it got picked up. The question being, where in the world is it? So that's going to be something we have to tinker with. I also want to go ahead and set the material real quick. The projectiles, just so it's not, that ugly color. Okay. Try it again. Pick it up. And it's going somewhere else. So we got to try to figure out roughly where it's at. So it should still exist in the world, however, it's just not being fully attached to our hands. And because this video is getting a little bit long, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. But we'll end up fixing that and kind of finishing it up in the next video, as well as setting it up so where it works with both hands, both our left and our right. So if you like what I'm doing and want to support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where there's a Team Deathmatch series for Patrons only, where we create, obviously, Team Deathmatch using Unreal Engine with C++, as well as a couple other features like weapon customization, custom spawning, and you get early access to all of my videos. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to join my Discord down below, and I'll try to help you out as well. So, see you in the next video.